Welcome to this look at how-to guide to video on one of the new mod packs on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, you've clicked on this video to see how the Herbicide production pack works from ZoddelZockt and KrinchenZockt. And that's fine, but you've got some bonuses thrown into this as well. Yesterday, the 22nd of August, saw the release of 41 updates on the Modhub, and one of those updates, in amongst that 41, one of those updates, there might be more, I only found one, the update was console release. So I thought, you know what, I'll show it, it's a small thing. And then obviously we had a ton of mods the other day. I did the map tours, and the map tours were complicated because there was extra packs, and there's been a whole load of stuff going on in the Modhub. And there were a ton of mods, so I went through kind of picking and choosing, having a look at stuff that piqued my interest and things that I thought, oh, I wonder how that works, what does that do, and that kind of thing. So one was the Herbicide production pack, the other thing was the corn dryer. The corn dryer is from Barney, and I thought I'd have a look at that as well. So I'm going to look at the, well, the first one that was the update to console in all the updates was the flag on pole by ikas, 0.41 megabytes download. 6 slots, you'll find it in decoration, and there are customization options, as you can see, fluttering just there and there. I've got a load over the back as well. So I thought we'd have a look at those first. We'll have a look at the corn dryer very quickly, because actually that turned out to be a far quicker thing to do than I thought it was going to be. I didn't know if it needed propane and stuff like that, so we'll have a look at that, and then we'll have a look at this Herbicide production pack from ZoddelZockt. I have to say, it's pretty cool. There's quite a bit going on with it. So I'll go through, hopefully step by step. I'll speed up the process after I've done my initial showing you it all, and then hopefully we'll get some stuff coming out, and it will maybe make a bit more sense. I'm kind of trying to get my head around it at the moment. If we go to build mode under decoration, and just there for 100 is flag on a pole, and if we do that and zoom in and then do R3, we've got the option for USA, Canada, Brazil, Australia, case, CNH, and then we run through all these different manufacturer options. So if you want these flags fluttering about your farm, or you might want them by the side of the roads, or you might want them at your dealership, you might set up your own dealership. Whatever you want to do, it's entirely up to you, but they are there, available. Flag on a pole by ikas, and the update on that was console release. So that's that one done. Check that off the list. Next, what this, the corn dryer. As I said, by Barney. This is 45.4 megabyte download, 16 slots, 75,000 for the building. And then we have got, under miscellaneous in equipment and machinery, 3 slots, 1,300 litre little diesel tank that comes with this as well. Now this requires corn and diesel, and that's it, as you can see. Diesel goes in there, corn gets tipped into here, and we've got the corn dryer set up just there. And that goes through, once it's dried, into a storage tank behind for collection. Now, it does say in the description of this, when you are drying down your corn, there is a 13% yield loss. So if you put 10,000 litres in, you'll get 8,700 out. Fairly straightforward. So my question, and that thing of why it piqued my interest, was, okay, that's fine, but we've found with things like this in the past, things that dry down, when you then come to sell them, you're not actually getting that much more money for them, and when it works out, you're getting some yield loss in the drying down, and then not as much money as you thought when you're selling it. You don't actually end up making much money going through the whole process of doing it. So I was curious, I just wanted to see how this would work. If we go into our build mode, come to our factories, and we go there we go, 75 grand for that. There's no customization options, it comes just as it is. If we come from there and we come to our vehicles section, to miscellaneous, just there, and there's the Abbey diesel tank just there. We can change the rim colour and license plate option on there too. Out we come. So that's those bits. As far as prices go then, and that's the next bit I suppose, if we come down to, no, we want there, and prices. So corn at the moment, the various locations I'm selling it, farmers market is 504, free bulk station, that's always a little bit up anyway. Multi-fruit buy station was 504 as well, so about 500 I'm getting for corn at the moment. So what are we going to get for our dried corn? If we come down to here, it says dried corn 1,130, 1,166, 1,102. So that's over a 50% increase in the price of what you're getting. So whilst you're losing 13% yield in drying it down, you're getting over double for the corn. So it is worth doing. Absolutely, it's worth. It doesn't seem like mega money, but you're doubling your money, losing 13%. So I don't know, you're making what, 37%? Is that probably over 37%? You're probably making a 50% increase. So yeah, I mean, it's. Have I got those facts? I'm probably going to get clobbered in the comments for those numbers. But anyway, you are going to make money doing it. Obviously, you've got to recover the cost of the 75 grand for the building, and then every now and again you need to put a bit of diesel in. But other than that, nothing too strenuous. If we click on our managed production there, you'll see our corn dryer holds 10,000 litres of corn, 500 litres of diesel, and then dries it down. And it's yeah, it does the thing. Hopefully, we've got a little bit in there. We'll be able to collect that, and then we'll move on to, like I said, this is just bonus content, people. You might not have been interested in that, and that's absolutely fine. Nothing said you had to be. There we go. Now we move on to this stuff. Oh wow, is there a lot going on? It's the usual ZoddelZockt thing. So the herbicide production pack, and it's not just about producing herbicide. Whilst technically yes it is, there are biogas plants and stuff here, and there are little side hustles and stuff going on with it as well. So this is 50.72 megabytes to download. What I'm going to show you first here under pallet tanks, we have got in this pack the urea tank, 2,000 litre for 500. That's important, pay attention to that, 500. And then we've got an acetic acid tank, which is also 500, 2,000 litres. So they're there already. So urea and acetic acid, and they're going to be needed in the productions. What we'll do, we'll go into our build mode, and all the rest of it is under productions. So we're going to start off with the small ones. So we have got, so this is the small productions. These are all 10 slots, and they're all 57,500 to purchase. So we've got small urea production, small acetic acid production, and then we've got pesticide production. Now the pesticide production needs urea and it needs acetic acid, but you get byproducts with both of those processes, and then you can take that into there and you can produce, with water added in, your own herbicide. So brilliant stuff. It's a herbicide production. That's what it's called, the herbicide production plant. But it's the byproducts that are interesting as well. So those are the small versions. What I'll do, I'll show you one of them now. Let's pop that's just one of them. It doesn't matter which one it is because the options are the same on each of them. If we go to customize our options, we've got no extras. We've got solar panel, billboard, solar panel and billboard, no extras. And obviously the billboard will say whatever it is, herbicide from urea and acetic acid. The one that I've already placed out just here says urea from slurry, and then the other one will be acetic acid from silage, it will say on it. So you've got the options on those. No colour options or anything like that. They come like that. Now, we move on to what are, I suppose those are small farm ones. These are just acetic acid production. So we'll start with urea, acetic acid and pesticide production. These are the standard size. So these are these ones behind here. These have some extra options and some extra buttons and levers and things that can be adjusted if you want on these. Now these ones run at a certain cycle. I think they all run at 24 cycles a month. The difference between the small and the standard is the recipes. The recipes on these ones are 10 times larger. So these will run faster, even though the cycles per month are the same on all of them. It's the recipes that make the difference in these, so they will run faster. But in essence, that and that do the same thing, that and that do the same thing, that and that do the same thing. Now this one I've turned around the other way, because when you go to place these, and the options are the same for each of these, if I put it round, well, let's start there. So if we do customize on this, we've got no extras, we've got solar panel, billboard. Now if you notice, it's already got the urea from slurry on the side of the building. Don't worry, that can be turned off. If you don't like that, it's fine. Billboard, if we swing the building round, like that one that is over there, let's come out of there and rotate the building round, puts a billboard on the back. So if I go back to customize, if I turn the billboard off, now that billboard and the solar panels will earn you a bit of extra passive income. So if you put the billboard on there, you're advertising and you'll get a bit of extra money. But you don't have to have the billboard. Solar panel and billboard, no extras, and we can change the colour on these, which you couldn't on the previous one. Don't know if you can tell the ones behind. That one's blue, that one in the middle is a yellow, and the one over there, did I go green? I can't remember what I went for. This one, they're very dark colours, so as you can see, if I click on that, let's go for a bright green. See how that's, there you go. So you can see that's gone green this time. So we can change the colours on those. So they're all slightly different, but as far as I go, the slot counts are different on these. So the urea production is 10 slots, interestingly. The, hang on, let's come out of there. Acetic acid production is 11 slots, and then the pesticide production is back to 10 slots. I'm not quite sure why, but each one of them is 185,000. That remains the same. We're all good. Then we move on to the biogas plants. So the biogas plants basically are there to utilise the byproducts of these processes. So whilst the ultimate goal of this one and this one is to produce herbicide, the herbicide production pack, the byproducts can be then taken to the biogas plants. So we've got a small biogas plant, a medium. I put the large one over here just to see what it looked like and the scale of it. There's no customization options on these. Actually, let me just double check that. I'm sure there wasn't. No customization options on those when you come to place them. Now it does say in the description these are the standard biogas plants, but what's been added in is the extra products that you can bring to them. So you can run more things through them. That basically is it. And it adds a bit more realism and that kind of thing. So that, in essence, is the pack. You've got 3, 3, and then 3 of those, and they're all found under factories. The biogas plants were, for the small one, it was 8 slots. For the medium was 9 slots, and for the large was 11 slots. And you can see the prices there already. So, let's go and have a look at the small productions, shall we? Quite loud. I click on there. So, urea from slurry. So we bring slurry, put it in, and as you can see, the recipe there is 250 slurry. You get 25 urea and 100 separated slurry. So we've got slurry to separated slurry. The separated slurry is the byproduct. So the urea can go on to make pesticide, but the separated slurry, that can go to the biogas plant. So that's one of the first byproducts. And when you'll notice is when we go to look at the standard size ones of these, the cycles per month, like I said already, are still 24. The recipes will be 2,500 to 250 to 1,000 because they're 10 times bigger. And I think the storage is 10 times bigger as well. Now these are taking a little while to chug along, so I'm only at half time at the moment. I tend to do it with my test map, mod map, because it gives me more time to set stuff up and I don't get through the days too quickly. But I will probably speed up time. Now, obviously I've got that at the moment. That's on storing. You can't separately distribute, so you can't distribute your urea and separated slurry separately. I can change my output mode to selling or distributing. If that goes to distributing, the urea will go to the pesticide production and the separated slurry should go to the biogas plant. Now bear in mind I've got 3 biogas plants, so I haven't set it to distributing because it will separate between all of them and I haven't got much at the moment. So that, again, that's just to point that out. Now if we come around this, we've got light switches. Oh, hang on, what's happened here? That's better. Right, so come over here. So we've got turn on lighting, flood lighting. So it does the floodlights around the outside, and then we come around this side, we've got a button here which turns on the shed lights, which does the inside of it. So we've got that. Now the signs on these, if you've gone for the sign option on the smaller ones, you can't do anything about that. But what we have here is turn on pallet spawner, and all of the buildings have this, and this is pretty cool. I think it should be turn off, shouldn't it? I don't know if they're the wrong way around. Turn on pallet spawner. That implies you want them to spawn, but if I do that button now, it puts these in the way, which means that the urea that's being produced here, the urea will come out as pallets. We've already seen you can buy the pallets for 500 a pop. They will come out as pallets. If you don't want those pallets to spawn, you pull that lever, it puts these pallets in the way, which stops anything spawning in that pallet spawn area. Each one of those has that. I like that as a feature. I think more production mods should have that. So if I was setting that to distributing, it would distribute anyway, but you can turn that on or off for whether or not you want your pallets to spawn, which is absolutely fine. Actually, what I did do, I got 2 of these out. There you go. So there's our urea, and there's our acetic acid. That's what they look like, and they were 500 each. So we move on to the next one. Just here has the same options for the buttons. You notice I didn't go for the billboard on the top of this one. I just cannot catch a break at the moment. My neighbours are having their extension built. They're not building today, it's the weekend. Next door but one, the other side of me, decided they're going to get a chainsaw out and start felling trees, and you know, you can't make it up anyway. So yeah, exactly the same options with buttons with regarding to spotlights or interior lights. And then this one here is your acetic acid. So this takes silage, the other one was slurry, this takes silage, produces acetic acid with deacidified silage as the byproduct. Now you can't see on these ones because these are the smaller farm versions. It does have the pallet option as well for that, which is cool. So when we get to the bigger ones, you've got the bunkers and stuff, so you can actually see the products you're putting in. These ones have got tanks here, you can't see any more than that. And again, the recipe's 10 times greater on the slightly larger one. Then we move on to the final one, which is the pesticide production. Now I haven't got this one running at the moment. Did I put water in it? I can't remember. Yeah, we've got water in already, but we haven't got acetic acid or urea. But I do have these two pallets that I purchased. Now that's also, when we move on to the next size up, there's some additions that are curious, I guess. I suppose it's something I wasn't expecting, maybe. And there's also something potentially that's not working. I'm not sure, but we'll have a look. So I should just be able to put these in. There we go. They're in. Now obviously if those two are producing those, urea and acetic acid, when the pallets come out of those, I can bring the pallets to here, or I can set those to distributing and they can distribute to here. Whichever way around you want to do it. I had the pallets I'd purchased, so you can do that as well if you want to. So there we go. All the stuff's there, can turn that on, and that will now start chugging away. It's going to take a little while because, like I said, the production's a little bit slower, recipe's a little bit smaller, and I'm only on half speed at the moment, but it will start chugging away. So that's the smaller ones. Now we move on to the larger ones. So we go again to this end, so urea production. Now there's a lot more going on with these, as you can see. So we've got our stuff for taking out. Now this slurry tank here, this holds 1 million litres. So slurry in, it's the same thing. We're getting urea out and we're getting separated slurry, which is what the small one did, but again 10 times larger. But the facility itself is a lot bigger. It does have the pallet thing as well, just there, so I can turn that on or off like that. So if I don't want pallets spawning, I don't have to have them spawning. But we've got this. If we open the pallet shop, we can just buy urea. If you don't want to run it and you want to just buy the urea, which is a curious one, but it's here as an option if you want to. Now be careful, because if you've got these out to stop pallet spawning and you do this, I tried to buy 2 pallets to test it. It said it only put 1 out because there was not enough room in the pallet area. It charged me for 1. And when I came back out and said, I thought, oh yeah, better to turn that off. I turned that off and there was no pallets sat there. So just be careful of that. If you have got that turned on, don't try and buy your pallets. If you've got that turned off and we come to buy our pallets, let's say we buy 2. Notice anything unusual? Let's do that again. Urea. Base price 900. Total price, because I'm getting 2, 1,800. The pallets are 900 each. Not 500 each, which they are if you buy them from the main menu. The difference being, if you buy them from the main menu, they will spawn at the spawn location for the vehicle shop, wherever that is on the map, and you've got to transport them. I'm assuming, and it's an extrapolation, I'm assuming that the reason it's charging you 900 is you haven't had to transport them. They are here on site for you to take wherever you want to go from here. Again, like I say, that is an assumption. But the difference between 500 and 900 is it's almost double the price. In all honesty, I'd rather just pick them up and bring them on a lorry if I was going to do that. But anyway, that being said, you can purchase them from here. I will move those in a little while, because when I speed up time, what I want to see is, with the pallet thing turned off, so there are pallets in the way, I want to see how this builds up, how much urea will sit there, and then if I do deactivate that, will the pallets spawn immediately? I'm just testing a few things out. But anyway, so that's our urea production. Oh, actually, no, that's not it. If we come around the back of the building here, we've got these 2. Now, this one here, so production information boards. These are the ones that I said they're already on the building. You can't do anything about those. They're there, but you can switch them off if you don't want them. So, do that, lever, those boards will disappear. So if you don't want those boards, that's not a problem at all. This one's the weird one. This says show loading station information boards. So I've got my interactive zone markers on at the moment. So let's turn that. So that says show them. I've got nothing has come up. I've got no information boards at all. So I thought maybe that's the switches around the other way as well. When I switch it back, there are still no boards. And I thought, well, maybe it's supposed to activate or deactivate these markers on the floor. So I turned off my interactive zone markers. Did the switch? Nothing changed on that either. So I'm not sure with that. It's the same. It was the same on all three. For some reason, it's not. It doesn't seem to make any difference. I'll do it. Put it back to see hide loading station. There's nothing. Yeah, don't know. Anyway, but anyways, as you can see, so this one's got silage in it. Sorry, slurry and separated slurry. That must be the separated slurry. That's interesting. So when I first put that in, that filled up as slurry. Anyway, I suppose because we are separating already. Moving over to the next one is the acetic acid, and again, we've got the stuff here. This is where we put our silage in. So silage in, and this bunk fills up 100,000 litres, and then when you start producing, the deacidified silage is what's in this bunk, just here. So you can collect that out and then take that. We'll get to the biogas plants in a minute. Same options here for pallets on and off. We can buy pallets of acetic acid if we want to buy them from here. Again, they're 900. And our production then, silage in, acetic acid and deacidified silage out. Those are our additions. Very nice. Same with the levers. We can remove that sign if we want to. With the first lever, second lever. Again, I haven't. Oh, is it that? No. Hang on a minute. I hadn't even checked that. I just assumed that was so we can buy pallets. Acetic acid production buying station. Let me just check that in a minute. Does that do that sign? Let's do that. That's what it is. It's on there. I went all around that building and couldn't find it. So if you've already made a comment for that one, that removes that sign. That one removes that sign. That one removes that sign. That makes more sense. Okay, let me just grab a trailer because I wasn't aware of such a thing. Maybe we can buy the deacidified, because we can buy the pallets of acetic acid. Maybe we can buy already the deacidified. That'd be interesting. So again, if you didn't want to run these as productions at all, which kind of, I don't know, for me that kind of negates the point of the pack, doesn't it? It's not giving me the option for filling. That is the pickup thing, isn't it? Now the other thing I want to double check here, let's go back to our miscellaneous. There's not a tanker that comes with this pack, is there? No, just the corn dryer. Let's go to barrels. No. There's nothing for deacidified Watsits and whatchamacallits. What about normal trailers? That's interesting. Actually, you know what we can do? We can go to mods and DLCs. Herbicide production pack. No, just those. So what is that then? Acetic acid production buying station. I've got nothing coming up for filling. That's a curious one. Okay, well, again, didn't know it to check, did it? What about if I go... No, the other one should be liquid, shouldn't it? Let's try my liquids tanker, just in case. What about under slurry tankers? I'm just... No, because if there was, it'd be showing it in here under mods and DLCs, wouldn't it? I had it all set in my head. I had all my notes out, and I'm like, we're good to go. We've got this sorted. And then that's thrown me a bit of a curveball. I was not expecting that. I'll go past the other one. Like I say, if there's not if it doesn't come with tankers or anything, because that says buying station as well, doesn't it? Urea production buying station. No, nothing for start filling. Because we unload into it on the other side. That one we unload round the front. I don't know. That's very odd. Nope. Okay, well, not sure about that then. It's going to be something obvious, isn't it? Anyway, and that brings us on to the last one, which is our production for our actual herbicide, our pesticide itself. And obviously this building's round the other way, so our levers that are here, that one, we now know does that sign. That one does that sign. I don't think it removes the billboards. No, because we're being paid for those billboards, so those stay as they are. I don't know if there's an option for the lights, because the smaller ones had the option for flood lighting on and off. I'm assuming these are automatic. Haven't seen an option anywhere. Turn on pallet spawner, and then we've got our managed production. So managed production, so acetic acid in, I've already put some in, and urea in, and water in, and then herbicide out. And as you can see with the productions there, 500, 250, 250 to 1,000, that's what I said. It's 10 times larger than the smaller one. Does that make sense? It's easier if we look at these two here, the urea productions, and you can see the difference between the two. You can see the recipes at the bottom there. There's the small one, 250. There's the large one, 2,500 to 25 and 100 to 250 and 1,000, which is what I said earlier. And the capacities are bigger too. So that's the larger buildings, which makes sense. I will speed up time because I say I'm curious to see with the pallet thing. We should get acetic acid pallet spawn here, but the one where I closed it off over there for our urea, I need to move those out of the way. I'll close that off. So we shouldn't get any pallet spawn there, but we should there. That's how that works. Now we'll move on to the biogas plants. So these are the rest of the flags from the first pack. Flag on pole. This is the small one, and again these are all right next to each other, so when we go into the actual menu you'll see them all, but our managed production plant is just here, and here's what we can do at it. So we've got manure, silage, slurry and sugar beet cut. That's standard. So what's been added into these is the deacidified silage and the separated slurry. So these come in and they'll give you some extra recipes using those byproducts from making your herbicide to bring to these biogas plants. Now that will only work on these biogas plants because obviously that one's got some silage in it already, because I had some left over from when I filled up the other productions. And if we come across to here, and with the first one, deacidified silage, so look at the 99 kilowatt, and if we go to there, the difference is in the capacities of the buildings. The recipes and the cycles per month stay exactly the same. So if you look now bottom right, I'm on 99 kilowatt, now 250 kilowatt, nothing changes on cycles per month or recipe. 500 kilowatt, nothing changes on cycles per month or recipe. So those will stay the same. It's just what they will hold that changes between the small, the medium and the large. So it doesn't actually benefit you really to get the large 500 kilowatt if each one, if the actual capacities and cycles a month or the capacities and the recipes were more on the larger ones, it would be worth doing, because I mean I suppose it's still worth doing now, but it would mean that your large one will be running faster. It's going to run at the same speed. Let's see if those change. Nope. Cycles a month and recipes, no, exactly the same. So yeah, in essence that's what that will do. What I might do is run until I get a couple of pallets out, then I might set it to distributing, because I'm curious to see, because I've got all 3 biogas plants out. What I might do is I might remove those 2, and then we'll see the stuff being transferred over so we can run those on this production here. I'll probably do that. So I've got a couple of things I need to do now, but yeah, I mean that in essence is what it does. And it's that thing when you look at the pack, when it first came out, I looked at, wow, okay. And I suppose technically it is a little bit complicated when you first start putting things out, and then once you kind of get your head around what each one does, how it works, the recipes, the cycles a month, what goes to where, the fact you can set this to this and that to that, and you know, it kind of follows a cycle and bounces along. If you want to produce herbicide but you don't want to run the biogas plants, you don't have to. That will mean you'll have a load of deacidified silage, and you will have a load of separated slurry, but I guess you could just set that to selling if you wanted to. But the problem with that is, yeah, that's the point actually. Have we even got anything that I'll be able to pick this up with? I'll need to speed things up a little bit. Let's double check that. I'll double check that and we'll see how we go. I'll see in a minute when I've sped up time a little bit, and we'll see where we're at. It's now 3 PM. We return to the scene of the crime to see what's going on. These two small ones, I've set these to distributing because I wanted to test the distributing system to see if it would work, and it is working, no problem at all. What it's doing is distributing the urea and the acetic acid to the small one and the larger production for doing the herbicide, which it would do, but it is also then doing the byproducts of our deacidified silage and our separated slurry. They have both gone to the biogas plant. So we look at the biogas plant now, you'll see on the right hand side there we've got 646 litres of deacidified silage, and we've got 425 litres of separated slurry have already gone in there. So I can actually turn that on and that on to get those chugging away in the biogas plant, which will give us our digest date as you would expect them to do as they run, which is cool. We've also got, not the smaller one yet, because obviously that's smaller, it's going to take a little bit longer, and it is building up gradually. We've got a little bit in here, 382 litres of herbicide. That is blocked though, so it will stay there. The larger one, however, because that's running faster, and I did have some stuff in there already to be fair, but we have already got 2 pallets of herbicide, so 4,000 litres already produced from that. So we know that the pallets will spawn once it gets to a point where it's 2,000 litres. Now obviously these ones, I think, again, not obviously, I haven't reached 2,000 litres yet. So this one, acetic acid, we're at 1,074. Once that hits 2,000, we should get a pallet of acetic acid spawn there. And then the one next door, obviously we have got that one set with the pallets in the way, so when that hits 2,000 it shouldn't put them out. But what we've also found out now is our deacidified silage is appearing in this one here, and using a regular trailer, and that's why I'm curious about the buy thing around the other side, why that's not registering. If I do start filling, you see it's emptying the bunker next to us, so our deacidified silage is coming out, and we can take that deacidified silage around to our biogas plant and drop it off manually. Now the slurry one, it's interesting because the screenshots on the website, and it's in my brain, it should have been obvious because it's separated slurry. It's basically, it's a separator, isn't it? I mean, that's what it's there for. We should be able to unload just in front of here. There we go, trigger on, unload, wallop, done. So that's in, and that's good to continue. So the picture shows a slurry tank. So I have got my modded tank. I brought my modded tanker along the side, and I couldn't get the trigger to work because I don't understand why it's not working. Looked on the website, and the website shows a standard in-game tanker, but I think the standard in-game tanker on the image on the website is unloading slurry in to this tank. Because it's separated slurry, it's a solid matter this side, so it requires a regular trailer. So as I bought over a regular trailer, it came up start filling, so we should now have, there you go, there's our separated slurry. We should be able to take that over to our biogas plant as well, unload that. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to unload that a little bit. Let's do a little bit of that, because I haven't actually checked the prices menu, but I'm assuming there probably is a price. I'm just going to take this over. This is one of the sell everywhere, sell anywhere, sell anything by Schultz Modding sell points. So if you're not going to run the biogas plants and you've got this as a byproduct, yeah, there you go, so we can sell it. It's not to be mega money, but there you go. So yeah, it's not huge money, but if you weren't going to run the biogas plants, then yeah, you can sell the product as it is. So what I'm going to do now is one final speed up time. It might be a little bit darker by the time we get there, so like I say, what I'm curious to see is we should get a pallet spawn there. I mean, we've got herbicide pallets there, so there's no reason why it wouldn't spawn here. We should get our acetic acid one there, and our urea one won't spawn there. But then what I'll do is I'll switch off the pallet spawn blocker, and then the pallet should spawn. If that works, then we know we're absolutely golden. The only thing I say that I'm still uncertain of is this bit. Yeah, I've tried trailers, tankers, all sorts of stuff, and I can't. Like I say again, it's going to be something obvious. But yeah, so I'll see you in a little while, and that'll be the final test, and that should be a bit of everything done. Awesome. 7 PM, let's have a butcher's, shall we? So, we come around the side of this one. Our stuff's continuing to chug away, and we should have a pallet. There we go, pallet has spawned. Awesome stuff, there's our acetic acids. We've got 2 more on our herb. This is actually running a lot faster than I thought it was going to run. That's pretty cool. That's absolutely banging away. So yeah, that's a pretty good production, that. As I say, just add some extra bits and bobs, and because you're like, if you're running animals and stuff, you're probably going to have, I mean, silage you don't have to run animals for, but the slurry you might need to. But if you've got silage heaps and silage clamps and stuff, rather than taking it directly to the biogas plant, it gives you an extra product to run. Again, if you're not into products, then this is not for you. And if you've clicked on it and you're angry about that, my question would be, why did you click on it? It is a production. But anyway, that being said, what we're going to do now is go over here. We're going to check on the urea. If we've got over 2,000 litres, which we should have, bottom right, we have. So I'm going to do is turn that off, and we should get a pallet spawn. Maybe not. Hey, there we go. So the system is working. The pallet spawn, the blockers are working. The pallets will spawn when you turn those off. Like I say, just be careful if you have got the blocker on. Do I do a test to see? I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not. I'm not using it for anything. If I turn that back on again. Oh, that's all right. It pushes the pallet. I was thinking, oh, will it just delete the pallet? That's pretty cool. So if there's a pallet there or some pallets there, it'll push them out of the way. But it will block the next ones being spawned if you want to. That's good, because I thought that might disappear. That's awesome. I couldn't be happier. It's all doing the thing. So the smaller ones are going to take a while to chug. We're still not quite there at 1,000 yet, are we? 804. But there you go. That's the whole system. Let's check on our biogas plant. How are we looking? Deacidified. We've got a little bit separated. We've already got 2,195 litres of digestate, and that's just from running the deacid. Oh no, actually, did we have slurry in this one? Normal silage, or was that the other one? I can't remember which one I put it in. No, it wasn't in this one, was it? No. Yeah, so on what we've already got directly going to this, and what we unloaded into it, we're already at 2,000 litres just over of digestate. So the biogas plant is doing what it should be doing as well. And there you go. So it's not, it's a, I don't know, I suppose it makes the title too complicated. And I did worry as well that just because it says herbicide production pack, people might be like, well, I don't want to produce my own herbicide. I can buy it, or there are other productions to do it, or whatever. That it is doing more than just herbicide, you know, and I think that's pretty cool in this pack. So there we go. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.